Is it the old adage that you be wary of a team on club function night? Do you feel like the boys will lift knowing that there's a big function, Hall of Fame, legends will be there? They don't want to walk into a function room having been belted, do they?
I've never known a function to be motivation to perform. That's a different one. Normally, self-motivation's the number one, but and often other things. But look, we hope so. We've got a pretty special event Saturday night, and we want to play like. I guess so. We do want to walk into that function room in Melbourne with our heads held high, as we do every week, of course. But yeah, there's a bit of extra spice to that this week, isn't there?
Mitch Robinson was very good for you last week and did a great job as well defensively. Who do you expect him? Does he go to Martin? Does he go to Cochrane? And he looms as important again, doesn't he, given their midfield? He's
had a good month, hasn't he, Mitch, at nailing some of the opposition's best players, and you've mentioned a few names there. I won't give away all the secrets yet, Davo, but there's no doubt he'll put some, not just him, but a lot of our players need to put some pressure on the opposition as well to make our offence a little bit easier to score. But he has been significant in that.
Has he improved in your eyes in the last month? I know he won best and fairest last year for a similar role. Yeah. Has he improved in the last month, or he's not?
He wasn't doing it to this level last year. The role in which not only was he was doing his role really well last year, but he's completely taking a player out at the moment and adding some numbers. That's a rare combination to do both, and I don't think Mitch can expect both those things to happen. As long as he takes care of the opposition, I'm happy. If he gets some ball himself, that's an added bonus. But if he keeps going into the game with high expectations of winning ball, often that's when your mind can get confused of what your real job is. And his real job is stopping the opposition's best player, and that's what we expect of him.
How does he get that balance? Because I thought sort of maybe early to mid-year he'd sort of line up on someone and then look for his own ball and maybe get a bit lost, but has that happened less in the last month?
Yeah, I might get you in the coaching staff, Fish. You've been doing a bit of your homework. Yeah, there was the case, and he sort of realigned a little bit, but we're all human beings, we all have temptations. It's just making sure that that he knows what his role is. It's nice and clear, and the footy world knows his role. It's nice and clear. You don't have to get too confused with Mitch, and that's all we need from him.
Is he a good role model for the young fellas in that he has that defensive mindset which creates his offence then? Like, is he, and he does it for 4 quarters, like he's that intensity and that focus he has. Is that, in that respect, is he a good role model for the young fellas?
He is, and not surprisingly, he's been one of our best players this year because he plays out the 120 minutes and focuses on his role for that time, and that's all you can ask from a playing group. We've had inconsistencies in that, no doubt, but he is a great role model for that.
How about your team this week? Obviously, a couple more injuries we heard about at the start of the week. You brought in Hamilman. Like a bit more juggling to do yet?
Yeah, there is. Had a few injuries last month. They're starting to mount a little bit, which is unfortunate, given the fact that we've had the difficult scheduling sort of come and pass us now, and we feel like the last 8 or 9 weeks we've got some games that we can get up for and get some wins on the board, which is what we're all here to do. But you want your best amount of talent out there, obviously, and best amount of luck, and we've just sort of hit a bit of a snag there. But that doesn't mean you can't compete and play to your best of your abilities. And we've got some really great young talent out there at the moment that have been really good for us. It's just a matter of us all stringing it together on the one day.
How long in defence?
Yeah, he'll play back. Yeah, he'll play back. He's been our best player in the reserves the last month, and we'll keep rewarding that. And that's the clear message to our playing group. We'll reward effort, irrespective if you come off the rookie list or you're a listed player. That's what will happen. And he's been our best, so he gets the opportunity.
For so long, every week we come in here and you talk about contested footy. That seems to have righted itself a little bit. What's the next step?
Yeah, you're right. And I talked about putting it all together in one day, but contested footy's been an issue for a couple of years, and we've won 3 out of the last 4. That wasn't an issue. We had better skill efficiency than last week than the opposition, but we didn't feel that. The way I guess the champion take their numbers compared to the way we take ours a little bit different. But we just in key moments, our skill level let us down. We probably left 10 goals out in the ground last week, we felt, and a lot of those went back down the other end. So that's obviously a real focus for us. But if we keep our competitive levels up, those things will turn. We can't shy away from the contested footy and tackling and the things that put pressure on the opposition that enable you to score.
Are you being aggressive enough with the ball? We sort of asked you about it post-match last week. Have you, I guess, on reflection or looking back, did you see some opportunities that you may have missed? Or
Oh no, we've got a pretty good blend at the moment with our offence. I mean, there's a handful of times where we do use tempo footy, and you know, people don't like it, but every club's doing it. Actually, back 50 numbers getting inside 50 have increased in the last month. They haven't gone backwards; they've actually gone up. You can't just keep playing slingshot, fast-paced, you know, frenetic footy for a whole game. It just, particularly in a young team, they just can't keep up. And we found we were probably opening ourselves up more by doing it 100% of the game. We just needed to find some other ways to control the ball, and it's been working okay. The first week against Carlton, we were a bit doing it, you know, trialling it. It was a pretty ordinary day for us, but I think since then we've improved and had some pretty good results. So be patient with it. It's really not the issue that's bothering us, to be perfectly honest, as a footy club internally. But I know exteriorly, because it's a bit of a change, that others may look at it.
What's been the conversations with, we talked about Richie post-match with breaking tags, what's been the conversations with him this week about measures to break those tags?
Yeah, look, we've got those, and obviously Daniel's, he knows what his strengths are compared to his oppositions and what he needs to do. Realistically, it's about us keeping him in the action more often and really around the ball. I think that's the big thing. I mean, you can, particularly when you're playing off a wing, it's easy to tag. We're just got to make sure we keep managing and put him in the right positions, and he's got to do his bit by, if he does get sat on, he's got his couple of mechanisms to fight that, and he has to be strong on fighting those, using those mechanisms. So, and that's all the conversation's been about.